Whether you wanted it.
And I said yes.
Fair enough.
Don't you love it?
Hi guys, welcome to a new video.
We always laugh when we start these mukbang videos because you just don't see what happens in the setup. And it makes us laugh.
Yeah.
It kind of makes us cry as well.
It's quite the process, isn't it?
It is.
To get to this point.
Yes, and it's a windy day and the camera just fell in the tomatoes.
So if the wind picks up again and you see us nervously reach for the camera, you know why.
Alright, so today is a different kind of mukbang because we have half of our meal cooked and we're going to finish it off by showing you the rest and give you the recipe. And we made this recently.
We did.
And it was like...
It was really good.
It was very good. It was something that I was craving. I don't know why, I just got this idea. We had potatoes, we had chickpeas, and I'm like, let's make a little Indian type of flavoured dish.
And if the cravings are healthy for, whole plant foods, listen to them because it's your body telling you, oh, you need those certain vitamins, minerals, nutrients, whatever.
Absolutely. So, what have we got so far?
We have, in our other rice cooker, we cooked some rice, tri-coloured rice, red, brown, black.
Yep.
And above the rice, while it was cooking, we steamed some potatoes, just regular white potatoes with the skin on. The skin has the fibre and then a lot of the nutrition. So, that was an all-in-one rice cooker thing.
Yes.
Very easy. And, yesterday, and we could have done it today, but we did it yesterday, we got some chickpeas. Let's take a lid off there. We cooked these from dry. We soaked them overnight and then cooked them for about 4.5 or 5 hours in the slow cooker. And so they're nice and soft now.
Yep, ready to go. So they're the pre-cooked things. Now, we have some diced red onion. Quite a bit because the main flavours are going to come from your onion and also chopped up tomatoes.
Yeah, and we're using red. You could use whatever variety of onion you prefer. Brown, white, green.
Exactly.
Up to you.
We used to use brown onions a lot, but we've changed to red. Why is that?
I think we prefer them at the moment, don't we?
We do, yeah. We find them less strong, less intense. So, I don't know, they just digest better. I like the taste better. And I'm going to do the chopping. We had to discuss this beforehand. Do you want to tell them why?
Yeah, I'm your typical man? Maybe I shouldn't speak for all men, but I'm not the best multitasker in the world. So if you get me chopping, you might get me silent at the same time.
You literally can't talk and chop at the same time.
I guess, ladies, comment down below if any of your male partners are like that. Please, I hope there are out there, because I kind of feel a little bit inept. Is that the word? Sometimes. Make me feel better, basically.
So let's, we've got the rice cooker here.
Yeah. Okay,
do I want to bring that in? Okay, and, we need a little bit of water for the...
That we do.
Okay.
Pause.
Okay, go on. So all I'm doing here is I'm just chopping up the tomatoes. As you can see, I've done a heap before. You want them to be nice and ripe and red, smelling good. The birds agree. And with the onion, you just want to dice it up quite chunky. You don't want fine onion, you want it to be nice and chunky. And of course, let us know what you're eating down below.
Yes.
What is your meal? Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks? So many of you...
And where are you in the world while you're eating it?
Yeah, let us know. So many of you message us and say, I was just about to go to bed and I saw your video, so I got up for a snack. And we're like, oh, that's really sweet. But you can hold it over till tomorrow, get your sleep as well. We kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
So, all right, there's the onions chopped. Tea towel?
Oh, you didn't ask for that.
I did ask for a tea towel.
I was going to say Snapchat. YouTube, let us know down below, did she ask for the tea towel? I don't recall it.
Well, before we started recording.
That's different. Actually, I asked whether you wanted it.
And I said yes.
Fair enough.
Don't you love it? All right, so what we've got here is the rice cooker, and just going to switch it on. It's really windy here the last few days, and we have these little things flying around.
AKA hairy floaters.
Which is what our Snapchat fan have decided to call them, because I've been complaining about them for days.
Someone mentioned they're probably seeds and the tree's pollinating itself.
Possibly. So they're flying around everywhere. There was one in the rice cooker.
Was there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I had one behind my sunglasses the other day, And I'm like, oh, I must have a hair in my eye.
And he says, can you check my eyes? What's in my eyes?
And then she had a look, there was nothing in my eyes, and then I looked down at my glasses and one of those little hairy floaters was stuck to the inside lens.
They're everywhere, they just stick to everything. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the onions in the rice cooker. And you don't have to use a rice cooker, of course. You can use just a regular, stovetop, but we don't have that, so that's why we use the rice cooker. And there's no need to use oil. We're just going to put a little bit of water to water saute.
And you want to use the least amount of water as possible so as not to water down the flavour of the dish.
Yeah, because the tomatoes are going to give a lot. So,
Yeah.
So that's on, and yeah, that's fine. Waiting. So, yeah, no, I can't see. No, I didn't put it on properly. Oh no, stop. All right.
Now we're good?
Now we're good.
It's difficult to see side on,
It
isn't it?
really is. Yeah. So,
I was going to
that's
mention,
everything.
I was going to mention with the chickpeas. Now we cook them from dry, but you could use canned chickpeas.
Yep.
We used to use canned beans and other legumes in Chiang Mai when we were living there before coming to the island. And at the end of our time in Chiang Mai, we were gifted this beautiful rice cooker, which also doubles as a slow cooker, by our good friends Tony Ann and Mike. And so ever since then, we've been able to soak them overnight and cook them from dry in the slow cooker, and it's great, isn't it?
it's good, yeah. It's funny, like we've never been able to digest legumes cooked from dry before the way we have now, and I think it's definitely because we're cooking them for so much longer.
Yeah, and soaking them for longer as well.
Yeah, and we kind of overcook them, really,
Yeah.
just so to be extra sure, because there's nothing worse than having pains in the tummy from legumes.
No,
and,
nothing worse.
So they're a little bit mushy, but that's how we like them. They do us well.
And every legume, has a slightly different cooking time to get it to where you want it. But on average, we're finding soaking overnight for around 12 hours as a minimum, and then cooking for around 4 to 5 hours, thereabouts.
What's your experience with legumes? Pop them down below in the comments, let us know. So, we're going to wait for that. Luca, I'm ready. We took a little pause. Okay, so once your onions are cooked up, they're just nice and cooked.
There is a word.
Translucent?
Yeah.
Transparent?
That's a good word.
Which one is it?
I think the first one.
Okay. And our rice cooker is on a quick... Alright, it likes to beep, so that's fine. Then we're going to add your chunky tomatoes.
Actually, we don't have a name for it, I realised, but because it beeps so much, I was thinking, what about R2D2?
We like to name our appliances.
Yeah, we've got Alberto is our original convection oven, and Alejandra is our second convection oven. Alberto's sister, naturally.
The first rice cooker is called the Beast.
Yes.
Because it's the Beast.
So what do you think, R2D2?
R2D2, what do you think, guys?
It's got the word fuzzy written on it.
Oh.
I was thinking of calling it fuzzy. That's pretty
I
cute.
like fuzzy. Let's stick with fuzzy.
All right.
Fuzzy beeper? I don't know.
Maybe just fuzzy.
What, just
What do you guys
fuzzy?
think? Fuzzy or R2D2? Let us know in the comments below.
All right, so that is smelling so good. There's nothing better than smelling onions cooking. We're going to keep putting that on for a quick stir. All right, so that's not going to take too long, and then we're going to add a heap of spices because this is an Indian flavored dish. So obviously we're going to have some curry powder. And
what would an Indian dish be without curry powder? It wouldn't be an Indian dish, would it?
it just really wouldn't. And I'm going to put just a little bit extra turmeric and cumin, which I'm assuming is already in the curry powder.
Probably.
But just like a tiny little bit extra.
On the side of caution.
That's right. Paprika, love this. And our garlic and herb powder. You don't have to use this in particular. You can use fresh garlic if you like. We like to use this. It's got some extra herbs in there. It's salt-free, which is nice. What else has it got?
Do you use soy sauce?
Yeah, I'm gonna need soy sauce. Thank you. And a little bit of cayenne pepper. Now, how do we say it, Luca?
Cayenne.
We say cayenne, but I know a lot of you say cayenne. So I think it's an Australian thing. I'm going to put a little bit of that, not too spicy because we're not huge fans of spicy food, but just a little bit of a kick is good. And the curry powder has enough of a kick anyway sometimes, so. And yeah.
Soy sauce. Yeah.
Okay, that looks good. So yeah, you don't have to like cook and stir the tomatoes so much that they go all mushy. They don't have to be. They can be quite firm. So then we're going to add the potatoes.
At this point, we're ready. Let's do it.
It's a big commitment. Good. And chickpeas. Okay. And then we just go for it with all the spices and the herbs that I just showed. I don't really do quantities. We just kind of eyeball it.
Yeah, that probably would have been 2 tablespoons of soy sauce between 2 people.
I don't know, curry powder. Maybe more than that. I think it really just depends on your taste,
Absolutely.
on the quantities,
All
you know, how
personal
much you're
preference,
making.
this stuff. We're just giving you guys ideas.
Yeah, and it turned out really good the other night.
It did.
So
Let's hope it does today, huh? I back you, I back you.
yeah. Indian food.
Oh yeah.
We were thinking about this.
Yeah. We've been to India 3 times and just love the cuisine.
Yeah.
But ordering out is not the greatest experience in our experience.
It's hard. It's like
because they use oil in everything.
Well, it's 2 things. It's the oil and the spice. The
Yeah.
spice kills me. It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah. And
It's not good.
it's often unavoidable. Like they'll say, oh yes, we can make it less spicy, but often the spice is in the curry paste itself, for example, and there's nothing they can do about it. They can just not add extra spice and chili and what have you.
But also like our not
But the
spicy.
base level of spice is too much for us. Isn't
Yeah, but our not spicy is just totally different to, you know, an Indian saying
Completely
not spicy.
different. It's night and day.
Absolutely. All right, so once that's in, I'm going to bring the camera over here. Can you guys see that? I'm just stirring it all through. I hope that works for you. There we go. Good?
All good?
Good. And yeah, again, you don't want to like over stir it. Sorry, I'm going to knock you out.
That's okay.
Because you don't want
Wouldn't be
your
the first time.
Yeah. Aw. You don't want your potatoes to go mushy. Now this dish would be absolutely beautiful with some naan bread or some chapatis, we were thinking, but we don't have that, so we're just going to use rice.
Actually, on one of our visits to India, we were living in an ashram, and our favourite meal that they made there was a chickpea tomato dish, and they would serve it with chapatis. Oh my God, it was just so good. There was only one problem with it though. It was very dry, and they didn't serve any fresh greens. And so we would go to bed with a lot of indigestion, heartburn.
Yeah, we'd cook
but we'd still eat it like in abundance because we loved it so much. Who does that sometimes?
And they'd serve it with, did you say chapati? Yeah. So we'd call it the
heart stopper.
Heart stopper because you just felt like,
yeah,
you know, the heartburn was so bad,
yeah.
so bad. You couldn't lay down for like, I don't know, it felt like 10 hours afterwards.
Yeah. Especially in the quantities we were eating it. They only served 2 meals a day there, so you'd load up at the first and you'd load up at the second. Yeah. And it was right before bed.
It was just, but delicious. All right, how's that?
Yeah,
you happy?
Great. Yeah.
I'm going to put just a little bit more of this.
It's all right, as long as it didn't go down.
It didn't, but I don't know how we're going to pick it up because we're wedged in here. Seriously, I'm going to use my toes.
Oh, excellent. Transfer to the orangutan arms. Beautiful.
What's that?
Good team.
Takes 2, baby. All right.
It does.
I think this is good.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
So,
if you want to hold up a little on a ladle and over the plate and show the...
Yeah, no, I got it. Bring it. Here we go. It's super yummy. It smells wonderful.
Yeah. Simple ingredients.
It's very simple. It's very
Comment down
simple.
below if you love the simplicity of whole foods meals.
Yeah. And you can see how much moisture has come out with the tomatoes. Yeah.
Hence, you only need very little water to saute the onion in.
Yeah.
I can turn that off, huh?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, it's heaps. Oh, I'll leave the rest in there?
No, I got it all out
got
the
it?
other night. Yeah.
Okay.
Just have to.
No, you're going to eat it?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, you know what would go good with this? The coconut yogurt.
Yeah, it would actually.
Wouldn't it? I don't feel like any. I had it for breakfast, but you could put some
Yeah,
vegan
definitely,
yogurt on top.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool.
Speaking of vegan yogurt, did you see, how was that Facebook post that we saw this morning about dairy? I think it was by govegan.com,
Yeah.
that campaign. Remember in the newspaper in the UK, wasn't it?
Yes,
That was
amazing.
incredible.
Yep. All
Right.
right. So there are spicy Indian chickpea potato dish.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, and it's
what
like
would you
we
name this?
Yeah,
Leave your ideas down in the comments below.
like we said, we love Indian food, but the oil kills us. So this is a healthier, oil-free way of making a great dish that you can replicate at home very easily. You saw how quick and easy
Yeah.
that was. And the potatoes, by the way, I think we mentioned, they're just steamed. You don't have to boil them, just steam them. But you probably could boil them as well.
Yeah.
You just
course
don't
you
want to
could.
let them get to that mushy stage where they're kind of falling apart and become mashed potato.
Yeah.
So that's it. Cool. Let's try it.
So good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Oh yeah.
Yum.
If you like hearty food, and if you're living in the far northern hemisphere at the moment where it's freezing cold, you're gonna love this. Get some of this into you. I mean,
Super hearty.
we're near the equator and we're enjoying them.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah. Oh wow, this is nice. And it's got a kick, but it's not too spicy,
No,
isn't it?
exactly. And again, you can adjust the spice level to preference.
Oh, nice. Yum. Good. So we had a few questions been coming up more regularly in the last few mukbangs, and one of them was about water. Why do we not drink any water when we're eating? We don't have any drinks.
Yeah. We don't drink with our food because we drink before we eat. So we drink about 15 minutes before eating, and it's for two main reasons. We find that because the stomach is a limited size, you want to avoid two potential drawbacks as we see it anyway. If you're eating whilst drinking, the food that you're eating is taking up some of the room in your stomach and might not allow you to fit enough water in order to be properly hydrated. And of course, being properly hydrated is the most important thing. That's why, we can go weeks without food, but we can only go days without water. So obviously, water and hydration are first and foremost in terms of importance. So that's why if we drink beforehand, we make sure that we're properly hydrated, and then 15 minutes later or thereabouts, all the room in the stomach is for food. And the other drawback you want to avoid is if you're drinking with your liquid, if you're drinking liquids while you're eating, that liquid is going to take up some room away from food. Now, if you're eating very calorically dilute food, you're going to need to eat a big volume in order to get your energy requirements. And so if you've got liquid taking away from that room, you might potentially not eat enough to meet your energy requirements, which could later on lead to a binge on some unhealthy foods.
AKA, if you're drinking when you're eating,
Yeah.
you may be full on water or whatever you're drinking and not have enough room in your stomach to eat enough food. So you're under eating by the sheer fact that you're having so much liquid in your belly at the same time.
Yeah, so these are two
Right?
potential drawbacks that we like to avoid by drinking, ensuring that we drink before we eat.
Yeah.
And
And I don't like being thirsty when
yeah,
I'm eating either. Like, I want to be hydrated.
because if you're
before.
thirsty while you're eating, it's indicative that you weren't properly hydrated before commencing to eat. And that, of course, is the most important thing. And of course, the proper digestion and absorption of certain vitamins is water dependent. So you want to make sure that you've had enough water beforehand for optimal digestion and absorption.
Yeah, so we just prefer to drink all our water before we start eating. And it doesn't mean that you can't have any water
No.
while you're eating, but we don't feel like it. Like, we're not thirsty while we're eating because we drink a lot beforehand.
Yeah.
So that answers that question. The next question that you guys were asking us was eating lettuce.
Why do we do it?
So we tend to eat greens with lunch and dinner. It just depends. Sometimes we miss out on lunch if we don't have enough lettuce, but we'll generally always have it with dinner. We do it for a few reasons. Number one, it's healthy and you should be eating your greens. Number two, it helps with digestion. It's just something that kind of...
Well, I guess it's the roughage, the high fiber content, high water content.
Yeah, I just find that it just helps with digestion, helps move things through.
And also, it helps, well, for us, we enjoy the fresh contrast to the cooked food that is the base of our meals. So it just makes the meal for us more enjoyable, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and that's why... Hang on, I found a little snail.
Don't panic, it's organic. Let's see if this thing
Can
will
you see?
focus.
Probably
us.
not.
A little mini snail.
Mini snail. I don't think you can. It's not going to focus, but he's gorgeous. All right, we're going to just put you aside on your leaf and take you to the garden. Yeah. So people have asked, do we dress our salads?
Yeah.
No, we don't. We just wash it and eat it plain. Excuse me. Because we find that the food has so much flavour. We don't.
We're not seeking
Yeah.
additional flavour. We actually want the plain, freshness of the lettuce, don't we?
It's really refreshing.
When the food is so flavoursome.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that you can't dress your salad.
Of course not.
You can do whatever you like. But that's just what we like to do. And what's your favourite lettuce? We like baby cos,
Yeah.
butterhead.
AKA romaine. Cos and romaine are the same lettuce variety, just called different things in different parts of the world. Yeah, butterhead, as you say. Basically, they're soft, tender, enjoyable greens. The other good ones to have are baby spinach, very high in nutrition. Rocket or arugula, depending on where you are in the world.
I hate that.
Yeah.
It's spicy.
Spicy.
No, for me, lettuce should not be spicy. That's just wrong. I don't know what nature was doing there.
I know, but some people love it.
I don't know how. How?
This is so good.
And it is good. Here on the island, we're very limited
Yeah.
with a lot of foods, actually. It's very, very basic. And the lettuce is just being...
And you'd expect that on an island near the
Yeah.
equator because lettuce doesn't particularly like very hot climate.
It's kind of like... What is it? Is it coral lettuce?
This one, it's, yeah,
like
in
coral?
that genre.
Yeah. It doesn't... It definitely needs to be kept in the fridge. And it doesn't do very well in the weather, in the hot weather, of course. Yeah, so we thought it was really cute how you guys had asked us those questions about water and lettuce. You see us, doing certain things. And
You guys don't miss anything.
no.
Very observant.
Tell us what your experience is with all of this. Do you find drinking before helps with digestion and just, helps you eat the right amount of food and you're not full on water, or what's your preference? It's way too hot to be eating this meal today. I'm just sweating.
I know, but
We usually have
fortunately,
it for dinner.
there's a breeze
There is.
and It's delicious.
It is, it is.
But yeah, way too hot for today.
So the last thing we wanted to talk about is we're getting a lot of questions about smoking, both on Snapchat and sometimes in the comments under our videos. I think more on Snapchat because we often talk about this in our snaps, of course. A lot of people have asked about our experience as smokers and how did we stop smoking. So we thought we'd address that here. And so I started smoking stupidly. I think I was at 18.
And I started with you.
Yeah. That's right, yeah, you did at the same time. Why did we start smoking? Because I thought it was cool, because I wanted to rebel, I wanted to do, you know, things that were, well, it's rebellious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I dragged him along with me.
So, and I think we smoked up until the age of around 24, 25-ish.
Yeah, like kind of on and off, that's the thing. Initially it was full on smoking for a few years, but then it was on and off towards the end.
It wasn't you know, a pack a day type stuff.
No, it wasn't heavy at all.
How long would a pack last?
I don't know, I can't remember, but it would only be a few a day. It depends what we were doing. Like
A few cigarettes a day, not a few packs a day.
if we're at uni, then I'd smoke a lot more.
And if we would go to a nightclub, we'd smoke a hell of a lot more.
If we're at work, we wouldn't have smoked that much. Anyhow, I developed a very bad cough. It was just so bad. I couldn't breathe and my ribs were killing me. That was so painful from coughing non-stop. And as it turned out, I developed asthma. And I remember going to a doctor, to a specialist, and they were doing all kinds of tests and everything. And he mentioned the C word. He mentioned cancer. And I absolutely shit myself. I
I mean, my grandfather had one lung removed due to lung cancer, due to smoking. Yeah.
And so it was just in that moment I went, hey, snap out of it. What are you doing? This is ridiculous. So how we quit was we just decided to, you know, yes, definitely there are patches and nicotine patches and things like that, and
Your brother, I think, has experimented with nicotine patches in order to try to quit, but he said he was getting absolutely terrible hallucinations. And
yeah, he did. I think he even might have said nightmares. Did he say nightmares?
Yeah.
That just So he didn't use the patches.
After a little bit.
After a little bit. So for us, it was just that scare that was enough to, you know, make us want to stop. And like I said, I quit, but and then you quit as soon as I quit. But then every now and again I'd have some, and because I was working in radio, so I loved the husky voice, so I would have a few at work. But then it just phased out because every time I get sick, and I'd get sick a lot because my immune system was so weak, I'd get a terrible cough and I'd have to take more medication, and it just went on and on and on. So then we just stopped. It was just a simple decision in the moment. Do you want this or don't you? And
exactly.
the fear of cancer was so strong. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
It is definitely a case of mind over matter. So the matter is the nicotine that keeps you addicted to smoking. But the mind, as strong as nicotine is, and we acknowledge that it is one of the most addictive drugs on the face of the earth, the mind, if you can control it, is stronger than nicotine.
Yeah.
So if you choose it, you can do it. You can kick it.
I think also going back to why are you smoking in the first place?
Oh yeah.
And of course, this is the same with any addiction. You know, what's the root cause? So are you doing it out of boredom? Are you doing it to fit in? Are you doing it out of what was the reason? And if you address that reason, that's going to make it a lot easier to break that habit. And of course, also, you know, about they say you don't break a habit, you replace a habit. So, you know, instead of having that smoke after a meal, which was always, you know, the best time to have one, do something else. You know,
We didn't use that technique, so
No.
I'm struggling to come up with something you could replace it with. But for anyone who has quit smoking by replacing the habit with something else, leave your comments down below. What worked for you? What didn't work for you?
I tell you what though, lately, living here on the island, we thought we were coming to like beautiful, fresh, clean air. It's actually been worse than when we're in Chiang Mai in a busy city. And
Yeah.
I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous,
Yeah.
but here what they do is they burn rubbish and they burn like leaves and branches from the palm trees.
Plant materials,
yeah.
debris that falls from the trees, leaves and the branches. But the problem is they create piles of the plant material, but then they also burn rubbish, and a lot of that rubbish is made from plastic. And so when they burn it, the toxic chemicals in the plastic are released into the air. Oh, it's like smoking.
It's shocking.
It burns like smoking. It's even worse.
Yeah, and we're showing you some footage here. There was a big burn off close to us just yesterday, actually. And the air is thick. It feels like you're living in a bushfire.
Yeah, yeah.
So that has really affected our breathing. You
We notice it when we go running.
Yeah.
Our lung capacity seems to have been reduced by the poor air quality.
It burns the back of your throat. I've noticed it's just a little harder to breathe. You know, I'm not exactly wheezing, but it's like just a tightness there. Now I haven't felt like this for a long time, so
Long time.
it feels like we're smoking again, which is really, really scary because there's nothing you can do about that with the food. You can be eating the best food, but if your air quality is so poor, that's going to affect you.
There are a lot of smokers on this island. So many. So even as a non-smoker, you are inhaling secondhand smoke constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
And I think we've noticed the difference because in the city, we were in our apartment, we were more indoors where you can control that. But it's great to spend time outdoors, but you also make yourself open to what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
So it has been very interesting to experience that difference and see how we feel. And we keep saying it every day, like coughing up stuff, and we did cough up stuff in the city as well, definitely. But this is different. This kind of burns inside, and we're just there's that tightness in the breathing. Yeah. So we're like, oh my god, it feels like we're smoking again.
And some people, I just want to add here, some people who smoke are unaware that not all cigarettes are vegan.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of them are, tested on beagles and monkeys, and even contain animal ingredients as well. So, just if you are smoking, first of all, while you're cutting back, make sure that what you are smoking is vegan.
We'll link some videos down below.
Bite Size Vegan's got a great one with a lot of detailed information.
So that's how we quit and why we quit. We just stopped. Let us know what your experience has been.
Let us know.
But we do have to say that when there is no burning and the air's just like moving, it's beautiful. When you're by the ocean, it's lovely. So
Unless someone's smoking and the wind carries it.
we've actually seen people, they're in the ocean, they're out there, and they've got this when they're ashing, it's just like, oh god, humans. But look, it's going to go. Oops.
Wish we had Jedi powers and we could hold it there.
So yeah, there are times when it's absolutely beautiful and the air is crisp and clear and you go, oh, that's what it's supposed to be like. Most of the time it ain't so good. So very interesting comparison. We didn't expect that, to be honest. And we should mention, oh, so windy, that the burning of plant matter and rubbish, we've known about this for a long time, and this happens all over Thailand. It happens throughout most of Asia, and we've lived in many places where they do this. So it's nothing new that we didn't know about. India, they do it so much, really hard. Even in Ecuador, when we were living in Ecuador, they would burn like half a mountain, to clear for cattle grazing.
Yeah.
So that wasn't for rubbish. That was, but just the burning of natural matter.
Yeah, which creates a bushfire-like environment.
It's shocking. So, I don't know, it's not good. Is this a sign of things to come with air quality reducing more and more?
Yeah.
Whoa. Is that a coconut?
Or a branch.
Right. Tell you what though, we have quite a few coconut trees along the path here where Luca walks. We both do it now to take out the compost. and sometimes coconuts fall, and we are shitting ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, more people die each year from coconuts falling than shark attacks, for example.
I'm seriously nervous every time I have to walk down that path. I'm thinking we should wear our bike helmets.
Yeah, I mean, I currently cover my skull with my arm because I'm like, well, the broken arm will heal, but the broken skull, not so much.
I just run for it. I'm like,
I really should wear my bike helmet. I really should, to take out the compost.
I'll have to film that. That would be hilarious. It's very scary though. You hear it rustling and then you hear something dropping.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
At the very least, I could turn the doggy bowl upside down and put that on my head. Half the time that's carrying out the compost, isn't it? So,
That's it. We're going to end it there.
again,
Stop the video.
Stop the video.
Hope you guys have enjoyed this mukbang and this recipe. Try it out. Let us know what you think of it. And if you have any other dishes that you want us to try and make for you, let us know.
And if you've got any topics that we could talk about in future mukbangs, let us know.
Absolutely.
We've still got plenty in our minds, but
Yeah.
what do you guys want to hear us talk about?
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your heaps of comments down below. We love reading the comments on these mukbang videos. Can you hear it?
It's been great eating with you guys. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, share it round, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Ding the bell and check the notification box to get notifications for our upcoming videos.
And remember until next time that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye guys.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. We've both been there before. When a love shuts the door, it's a losing game. It's a losing game. But this time it's more than another love war. This ain't the